Like I honestly I just think it goes without saying. Like I mean like the glaring flaw with this is so loud. Like I swear this has to be bait. This was uploaded today. I even commented that like this it's such an issue that it just has to be bait. There's no way that these creators made this and seriously thought that allowing for the player to recolor half of the player model to something that isn't red or blue is an acceptable asset to put for a TF2 item. Like, what are you doing? What are you thinking, right? Like, this is frankly unacceptable. Obviously, for obvious reasons, this type of item shouldn't be allowed inside of Team Fortress 2 because one of the core fundamental design elements of this game, for those of you who have been playing for 5 minutes, is Team Fortress 2. Being able to readily identify who is friend and who is foe at a glance. If you can't tell who is on your team at a glance in the midst of all of the other visual noise inside of the game because of a TF2 item, that item is not acceptable for the game and it should not be incorporated and it should be ignored. It's a bad item, right? This is an example of that. And I believe even this version is unacceptable because this is pink. It is not red. Pink is certainly derivative of red, but it is not red team, right? And this is light blue. This is not your typical classic blue color, right? You need to be maintaining the team colors. Sure, pink and light blue are again derivative of the main team colors, and they work perfectly fine as accents, right? You can have light red, you can have pink, you can have light blue as an accent for the respective teams. But they should not comprise a majority of the player model, because in tandem with other cosmetics in the midst of the clusterfuck that is Team Fortress 2, it's going to negatively detract from team recognition. And it's frankly unacceptable. It shouldn't be allowed in this. And, like, what really irritates me about this, and again, this has to be bait. There's no other explanation for this. Like, there's, again, no serious reason why they think this would be okay. This has to be just to piss people off, right? Because this comes from two creators that have a plethora of other items in the game. Like, this isn't their first rodeo, right? Both of these guys have multiple items in the game, and this is just, like, showing me that they don't care. And other workshoppers do this as well. Like here's another example. Certainly a less egregious example, but it's doing too much. It's incorporating too many other colors. It's incorporating too many other color details that will negatively detract from team recognition. Especially this pink version, especially this brown version, right? Again, pink is not red. It needs to be red team. Plain and simple. Brown is neither red nor blue. Both of those colors can certainly behave as nice accent colors, but then when half the player model is, oh, this is now a neutral brown color, good luck being able to tell what team he's on, in tandem with other cosmetics and with all of the other visual noise happening on your screen. At a glance, when you're playing the game, you have no idea what team this guy's on. The only team-colored element that this player model has is the fucking shirt around his pants, which can be blocked by his sentry gun and various other things, right? It's like, it's unacceptable. Or not even a sentry gun. The sentry gun will tell you what team he's on. But another player in front of him, or something else in front of him, like a lip or a ledge or stairs, right? If half of him is below the stairs, you're not going to be able to tell what fucking team he's on, right? And then you have this dark blue iteration, which is like this weird, darker version, which is also, I think, unacceptable. You need to maintain the classic team colors, and that needs to remain as a majority of the player model. Otherwise, you are violating the fundamental design of this game that must be preserved. And the issue is not being able to determine, oh, this person is not on blue team. The issue is that he is not red. That's the problem with this. And this just goes back to all of these creators just like not caring about the game. Like, they very obviously do not care about maintaining like the fundamental design elements of Team Fortress 2 when they think items like this are acceptable. And I've said this before, I believe in a healthy amount of gatekeeping when it comes to preserving what little there is left of, you know, Team Fortress 2 underneath the mountain of garbage that Valve keeps adding, right? And this is why I'm also very pessimistic now about this coming summer update, because, good God, if these are the creators that Valve keeps going back to, and they do indeed keep going back to these creators as recent as last year, right? And Valve, as we all know, tends to go back to the same creators over and over again. Not selecting new creators, but going back to the old creators because that's less work for them. It's less people to keep track of on the payroll. They know that the items that are made by these individuals are going to be compatible with Team Fortress 2 with minimal issues, so that's even less extra work on Valve's part, meaning they're going to go via nepotism and not quality. And there's a higher chance that items like this being made by these creators are going to get put in the game. And that just really depresses me because this is what's coming. This is what's coming, is just more stuff that's going to degrade from the game. I don't know for sure. I don't know if it's coming, but the chances are there, right? When the workshoppers that Valve keeps going back to deem this as acceptable. And frankly, it's not. And we, the people who care, like me, need to call it out and show them and tell them why items like this are wrong. And they're not acceptable. I mean, again, I think it speaks for itself.